Turkey is set to launch its long-planned offensive against Kurdish fighters in northern Syria. The U.S. has reportedly started withdrawing troops from the area, clearing the way for the incursion to go ahead. Now, U.S. troops were stationed close to the border with Turkey, where they were supporting Kurdish forces in the fight against the so-called Islamic State. Turkey sees these Kurdish militias as terrorists. On Sunday, Kurdish groups in the region held a mass demonstration against the Turkish offensive. They say they feel abandoned by the U.S. after teaming with Kurdish fighters in the battle against the so-called Islamic State. And let's get the latest on this story. DW's Julia Han is in Istanbul for us. Hi, Julia. Why is this happening now?
Well, this is basically U.S. President Donald Trump suddenly making way for Turkey's military operation in northern Syria. This definitely comes as a surprise, and it follows developments late last night, a phone call between Trump and Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, after which the White House published a statement saying that Turkey will soon move forward with its long-planned military operation in northeast Syria, and that U.S. forces will not support or be involved in it. And what we are seeing on the ground is that U.S. troops have started in the morning withdrawing from areas in northern Syria, areas that are so far controlled by Syrian Kurdish militia. And this is actually, a major shift, a stunning reversal of U.S. policy in Syria, because Washington had so far significantly supported these Syrian Kurdish militia and considered them the most effective group in the fight against the so-called Islamic State, while Turkey actually considers them terrorists. And that was the reason for major disagreement between Washington and Ankara in the past months. And now it seems Ankara got what it wanted.
What will happen now, Julia? Are we going to see Turkish forces move into the area?
There are actually many unanswered questions right now concerning the scale and the time frame of this Turkish military operation. The Turkish military has reinforced troops. It has pulled together and pulled over more military equipment. So they say they are basically ready and they are just awaiting orders. But it also remains to be seen what's coming next from Washington, because it's safe to assume that President Trump doesn't have full support on this from the administration, from some very high-ranking and important people within the Pentagon. It's safe to assume that this is basically President Trump coming up with a decision that needs further talking in Washington. So it's going to be interesting what we'll hear next from Washington.
And Julia, just quickly, the Kurds say they feel like they're being abandoned. Tell us more about their reaction.
Well, they have condemned the U.S.'s move there, saying that, and I quote them here, it will have a great negative impact on the fight against the so-called Islamic State. They are not the only ones very concerned. The UN's humanitarian coordinator in Syria has also warned all parties of causing a major displacement of civilians in the area. He said, we don't know what's going to happen next, but we are prepared for the worst. So many concerns here, many open questions.
All right, our correspondent Julia Han reporting for us from Istanbul. Thank you.